The level of uncertainty that we're experiencing at the moment is like nothing that we've experienced before. And it is quite possible that a lot of people are experiencing a lot of unsettling and disturbing thoughts and emotions, triggers that they may not normally experience on a day to day basis, or indeed for anyone who has a pre existing mental health condition, be it an eating disorder, be it depression, anxiety, OCD, whatever, that the symptoms are being exacerbated by the current climate. And that's completely understandable. I mean, a lot of people have developed ways of coping with their life. I mean, whether it be coping mechanisms, whether it be strategies or techniques that you use to avoid having to deal with any sort of fear or anger or any negative feelings or thoughts whatsoever. And all of a sudden, those coping mechanisms may be compromised. They may not be available to us in the same way that we normally would like. And that can be really scary for people, you know. And I suppose, first of all, just to highlight that it is completely normal for triggers to occur in this sort of situation, particularly anxiety, because again, you know, you're building on your already existing fears, and this is something that is so completely real. It is so in your face. There's no avoiding it. And as I said, oftentimes the things that we do to avoid dealing with these things are the techniques that we use to soothe ourselves aren't available to us, or indeed are available to us at too high a level. I mean, you know, for people who use food or alcohol or online shopping, all of a sudden being stuck in the confinement of your four walls may feel like all of a sudden you have to just go to town on it, you know. And I suppose it's recognizing that this is an opportunity for you to look within. I mean, whatever is coming up for you, if you can at all sit with it a little bit and tolerate it and breathe into it and just find out what it is that it is trying to tell you. And that's quite difficult. I know, even from my own perspective. I mean, there's so many things that I do to help me cope on a day-to-day basis, you know. And I suppose, given the place where I've been with my mental health, things now are kind of very much on I suppose, milder scale, but yet I'm still dependent on them, you know. And there are things that make me feel that little bit more secure, and there may be kind of fairly benign things, but yet take them away from me, and all of a sudden I do notice it, you know. And all of a sudden it brings up all of these things in me. It brings up all of these emotions. It brings up all of these resentments and thoughts, and that is completely normal, as I said, because your tendency might be to assume, oh my God, why am I thinking so selfishly, whilst in a state of, oh my God, how am I actually going to handle this? And that's okay. I mean, you have to be really compassionate with yourself here, because, as I said, it's not an easy situation for everyone. And, you know, if you can just recognize what it is that's happening, try and practice deep breathing exercises, which will help bring you back to a state of homeostasis. And then, you know, kind of write a little bit, or talk to somebody who's close to you, or find somebody online. There are so many counselors and therapists, myself included, who are offering online services at the moment. And if you need them, then make sure and available more now more than ever. I mean, you do not want to end up feeling isolated in this particular situation, because again, we all need help. We all need to feel connected to somebody, and whether it be through our phones or whatever it is that's available to us, we need to identify what is going on for us, you know, rather than just kind of numbing out with Netflix, numbing out with food, numbing out with whatever it is that is available to us at the time, you know. Because we are in a situation where control is completely taken away from us, and that is very challenging for a lot of people. And as I said, it'll bring up a lot of stuff. It'll bring up a lot of old emotions. It'll bring up potentially some very scary shit, you know. And it's just surrendering and accepting the situation for what it is, but using the situation as an opportunity to look inward, using it as a chance to, for once, avoid using whatever addiction or whatever form of avoidance it is that you usually utilize, and instead writing down, talking about what you're feeling, finding a new path of self-discovery, self-awareness, where all of a sudden you realize how dependent you are on external shit to keep you on the straight and narrow. And it's amazing how quickly certain things will crop up for people. I mean, straight away you'll know what your triggers are, you'll know what you're dependent on, because it's the thing that you become most panicky about, and it's recognizing that nobody deals well with uncertainty. Our brains aren't designed to. Our brains are designed to take our past experiences and use them to make predictions for the future. And this is where a lot of anxiety and depression come from, but it's about recognizing that because this is a completely new scenario for us all, that all of a sudden our brain doesn't know what prediction to make. So it goes to town with all the possibilities and the hypotheticals, and it's kind of recognizing that this is the one time that you need to kind of take a step back into equanimity, as opposed to allowing kind of the worry and the rumination to exacerbate, to just take hold of you, and basically prevent you from showing up for yourself and showing up for the people that you need to show up for. And I know it may seem like the wrong time to be talking about serving others, but like literally you will find opportunities to do nice things on a day-to-day basis right now, whether it be reaching out to somebody online, whether it be I don't know, just offering to help somebody, whether it be being present with your kids a little bit more, which I'm trying and it is fucking hard. I swear to God, I'm going out of my mind. But even reaching out, like I've reached out to a load of former clients who haven't dealt with in ages, just to say hi, how are you doing, hope you're okay. Not in the hopes of getting business out of it, but just in case anyone is feeling isolated or disconnected. But like today, for example, I was just out walking in the morning before my husband went to work, and I came across a duck. Now the duck had been hit by a car, I'd say, and was pretty stunned at the side of the road. And I had gloves on anyway, so I, to prevent from the cold. Now I wasn't wearing plastic gloves working, but I took the duck to the side of the road and just put him on a little pile of leaves, and it was playing on my mind anyway. And it was great because it took my mind away from the fact that I'm worried about my business and that I can't handle having a toddler pulling out me for like 12 hours every day. And anyway, I was playing on my mind a little bit, and eventually I got my son into the back of the car, packed a box with a towel, and there was no vet open at the time, so we drove around for about half an hour, my son having his sausage roll in the back of the car, just basically waiting for the vets to open. Now, for all I know, they are just going to put the duck down, but for that hour, or for that half an hour, I was just taken away from my own worries, my own issues. So it just goes to show, if you can find something beneficial and helpful to do, and I don't advise you go out and find a duck, but if you can find something nice to do, it really eases your kind of mindset. It really eases any worries that you have. And that nice thing can be something, as I said, that you do for your kids. It can be trying to be kind and loving to your partner, even though they're driving you fucking nuts. Or, indeed, if they're gone out to work, like in my scenario, and you feel that little bit of, oh Jesus, how come I have the child all the time? All of these things are completely human. But if you can just recognize them, tolerate them, and then try to, I suppose, step above them and say, what can I do that is kind for myself? What can I do that is kind for others here? It can be so helpful. However, if you are finding that your mental and emotional health is becoming too much to handle, feel free to get in touch with me on the website, or indeed on any of the social media platforms. It's fundamentals.ie. Hope everyone is keeping well.